What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today is really going to be showing some real effort. And the reason why is because we're not doing one, but we're doing 3 miniatures today. Yesterday I worked on Jack and uploaded that today. I've been doing a video and uploading the next day, so you'll be getting this video technically tomorrow, which is another day that I'm going to be painting another one. Hopefully not the same ones. So, basically what we're going to do is we're going to do Wilhelm. Wilhelm is a cyborg who serves Handsome Jack and who nearly killed the original Vault Hunters after the events of Borderlands. He is one of the bosses in Borderlands 2 and is the Enforcer class playable character in Borderlands the pre-sequel. So, we have him to paint. Now, what's different is with Jack, his skill had 2 miniatures that were digiclones. Those are translucent blue, and they're going to stay translucent blue. So, with his class, he has Wolf and Saint, which are 2 drones. So, what we're going to do is we're going to paint him, but we're also going to paint these damn drones as well. So, hopefully, we don't lose time today, because I would hate to make this a 2-day video process, because I wanted to bring out a miniature a day. Next Tuesday, I'm not going to be able to do a painting that day, so the Wednesday, you guys will most likely not get a video then. But I got 3 miniatures to do today. I have to prime these, get them ready, dry brush. Also, that launcher he's using, I don't know what fucking launcher that is, so now I gotta find out what launcher that is, because the reference photos that I'm looking at, he don't have no goddamn launcher. So now, I have that problem to face. Okay, so we are on the Borderlands fandom, and that's where I've been really searching up and getting my references to paint my miniatures. Now, this is probably the best reference I have right here. But what is very cool is that you can also see Wolf and Saint. So this is probably going to be the one I will be painting Wolf and Saint to. It makes more sense to do it this way. Plus, it'll go with his outfit. Wherever he goes, these go. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, when I tackle all the colors, I can tackle these alongside it and not paint them separately. Kind of like batch painting, but with 3 instead of like 50 miniatures. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically, whatever colors match him and these, I will hit these up, and then we will move on to the yellow. Of course, he has yellow, and of course these have yellow as well. Only thing that's different is the color of the lenses. So one's blue and one is red. So yeah, let's get into it. We're going to prime the miniature, and then we're going to dry brush a very light gray over that prime. And what I use is folk art. I think it's like a dove gray. It's very cheap. It's very affordable. It's the best way to dry brush, because if not, if you use your expensive paints, you're going to waste it. Don't waste your expensive paints. Dry brush with something cheap. It's just a dry brush. It's not. It's going to be underneath all of your paint. So let's get into it. Okay, the miniatures are finally primed. While they are drying, I do want to tell you guys that I did jump back onto the Borderlands fandom and looked up pre-sequel rocket launchers, and after doing some digging, I assumed it was going to be a legendary. I found out it is a Nukem. So if you want to know how to paint the Nukem, just look up Nukem on the Borderlands fandom and it'll pop up. And this is pretty good, because we're going to be using yellow anyway on him, and some grays and stuff like that. So it'll be perfectly fine. So this is great. The process isn't going to be lost We do have to add a little bit of red here and there though, but it's pretty good. So now we can finally jump into painting. Okay, so with our minis finally dry brushed, we're going to start with gray. All of the minis, including his drones, have gray in it. We're going to work on his pants and his jacket on the left side. The right side is actually a brown. So we're going to work on the gray, get that done. And then we can pull, I'm going to pull up the picture for the drones to give you guys an idea of what parts I'm going to hit for the drones. The drone area, it looks like this one will be around the, like under the panels. So under the panels will be gray in them areas. And then this one is gray from this point on. The top here is yellow. Sorry. The top here is yellow. So from here on is gray, top yellow. The tail piece is yellow. And it looks like some pieces are gray back here. The end wings are yellow. So we're going to have to work with this one, try to figure out how this one will look, because this isn't the exact drone that I'm looking at, but it's close enough. So that's what we're going to follow. Okay, so we now have the basalt gray on Wilhelm, and we also added it to the drones as well as needed, to the spots as needed. So this very small spots on the drones, but the next part, what we're going to do is we are going to use a leather brown, and we are going to hit up different spots on Wilhelm. So his jacket is like a lighter leather. We're going to see how it interacts with the speed paints later on when I glaze. If not, I can always highlight over that to make it really light anyway. But we are going to base it with a leather brown. Then we are going to also hit up his belts and his pouch on the side here as well. That is brown as well. His boots are a metal piece. Some of these are metal, but they're like a lighter metal, so I might go over with a warm gray for certain spots, and then use a metallic just for this, and then I'll use a glaze of Grave Lord Gray over top of that. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to leave the gun for last. I'll work on that last. We're going to go ahead and add the browns and see what we look like. Alright, so with further inspection of my reference, the belts and the straps and shit, that's like a almost black. So I may use a Tenebrow gray for that, because that is an almost black gray. Yeah, so make sure you do go back and forth with your reference, because you could make that mistake that I was. It's really not that big of a deal. If you want to have brown straps, go ahead and do it. It's not going to really affect it that much, because it's a strap. A strap can be a strap. But the reference shows almost black straps. So we are going to use Tenebrow Gray. We're going to try to hit up different spots, because there is pieces underneath the boot that is very dark, like where the seam is, and different straps like around here, and obviously the belt and the straps and stuff. So just keep in mind that this, you can miss something. So with the Tenebrae gray finally set, you want to make sure you get all of the straps, including his back as well, and they're also around the leg pieces here. And what we're going to do next is we are going to actually put a warm gray, and that will be basically placed above his belt buckle here, or above his belt, his chest piece, his back piece right here. We're also going to coat it onto the bandage that's on his arm. It's just going to be the base coat for that. It is going to be a lighter tone once we're done. And we are also going to put it on this piece right here. So the top piece and the leg piece right here. The sides are yellow, along with the pieces of his jacket or his shirt. These notches, they are also very light as well. And the top here, these are a lighter gray, almost a silver. These are probably going to get dry brush silver. All of these are going to have a little bit of silver added to it because it's like a metallic-y kind of thing. Okay, so now with that set, we added it here, 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 there, there, there. So with that set, we are now going to move to our yellows. Our yellows are going to be part of the buckle, the part of this piece down here, the back of his buckle, or his belt. And then we're going to also do his knee pad down here. That's yellow. There's supposed to be a little bit of a side here that you're supposed to paint yellow, but they don't leave that here. So we're just going to leave it the way this is. And then also with the yellow, you want to do the rest of your drones. So the pieces that you did not do in gray, you can now paint in yellow. So the panels here, and I did see this drone in red too. So you can paint this in red, but I'm just doing it in yellow just to kind of read and blend with Wilhelm. Also, we are starting off with an ochre yellow. Once I put a glaze of Graveborn Gray over this, we will then go back over that with a volcanic yellow, which is more vibrant. But you want to start in a darker tone first. And make sure you layer this as well, because you want to have multiple layers, because yellow is a color that is very transparent if you only put one layer on. Alright, so now we have the yellow one there. We got it on the knee pad, the belt, the piece over here behind him as well. And then we did a couple coats on the drones. So we have this drone, and then we have this one. So what we're going to want to do now is we are going to want to put the skin tone on here. So with the skin, I'm going to do it my original way, not the two-part, but I'm going to go with brown rose, and then I'm going to put brown rose all over the skin area, and then I'm going to take beige red, and beige red will be we're going to paint in a smaller area, so I'll hit all of it up with brown rose. Beige red, I'll start to not fully do the pieces, but I'll fill it out more, leaving some brown rose on the edges of the skin and crevices basically visible. And then for the really good highlights, we will go with a pale sand. So pale sand's pretty good for doing some highlights. So you want to just like every time you go over a color with skin, you want to go smaller and smaller and smaller until the highlights are there. And also you want to build from darkest to lightest. It's the best way to do skin. We're going to see how this turns out. After that, I'm going to hit the metallic parts up with a gunmetal. And after I do that, we can work on the gun or the rocket launcher. And then he will be ready to start putting some speed paints, glazes, and shit. Alright, so our skin tone is done. You want to be careful on this part. So basically, there is a couple spots I do have to fix. I did hit some of the areas up. Like there's some on the jacket here and stuff like that that I did hit. That will happen. Don't fret. Don't be worried. Stuff like that happens. It's only paint. Just get back through and you'll be fine. I'm gonna hit some of the metallic parts up, which is mainly his boots, because the boot area is like mainly just metallics. Everything else isn't really metallic. Like they are, but they're just not. It's not obvious in the picture. These are still metallic areas, but I'm going to have to dry brush some metallics on it because it's more like a lighter type. You'll see how it all works out. So we are going to hit this metallic, and then we're going to work on the nukem, and then we'll be ready to do some glazing. Alright, so we used a ochre and yellow for the gun. We used a matte red for the little red specks on the rocket launcher. And then what we did was we used a reddish gray for this part, for all the metallic parts. This will all come together soon. I also used the matte red to also do the drone eyes as well. The other drone will get blue eyes. So, yep. Now, what we're going to do, we're finally to a point where we can actually use our speed paints to glaze the model. The hair, I'm going to do with a black. There's a black speed paint. I'm going to use that. Do keep in mind, he does have a white strip here and a white strip here. So I painted it like a gray, a light gray. Actually, it's a warm gray. I will do a little bit of highlights with a white here and there later on. But we want to hit this with a black. We want to hit the leather pieces, the brown pieces basically, with a leather brown. And then we want to do the rest of the model in complete Gravelord gray. It's a perfect speed paint. It works well with everything. Then I'm going to hit all of these guys with, or these two guys with Gravelord gray as well. I want to work this smoke in a way where it goes black at the bottom and then it lightens up to the top like actual smoke. So we're going to see how these turn out. That's going to be a first for me, blending black, gray, and then a white speed paint. We're just going to have to figure it out. Sometimes it's just trial and error. At this point, I don't know if I have enough time to finish everything to get the video out tomorrow. It might be the next day. I don't know yet. He is coming together really well. Like, this is looking really good. I went ahead and I put the Rhinox hide on the base so that I can kind of get that part sped up a little bit. We also did the drones as well. We started with the gray. I'm going to have to hit that white, see what happens. We'll figure it out. And here's the other drone. Kind of getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Alright, we are going to hit some highlights up because I'm trying to finish this. I want to finish this. This is my goal. I did do 3 a day this time, so I don't know why I'm that crazy. We are going to hit with a lighter brown, just different areas on the jacket. We are going to go for a basalt gray with certain spots, of course, on the jacket and pants. We are going to take some of the gunmetal and we are going to dab it on different spots where it is technically a metal piece, which would be the buckle and stuff like that. Just highlight the area so it has a shine to it, but not too much that it'll mess everybody up. And then we have to go through the yellow. We're going to use a yellow to highlight the higher points of the yellow. Hopefully this kind of brings it all together and we can do it in time. Alright guys, I did run out of time, but I did manage to finish the models tonight, so the video is out on time. I want to thank all of you guys for watching today's video. It's going to be a different outro today because I was in such a time crunch. This is everything done with the highlights, and it's looking good. This Wilhelm is badass, especially with Wolf and Saint. I did do a lot trying to tackle 3 models a night. The only thing about this is that I do tend to want to spend a lot of time on one single model, especially with it being Borderlands. So I'm going to try to focus more on doing 1 model at a time instead of 3 because of that factor. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave this video a huge like if this video either helped you out with your Wilhelm model or if it just gave you some entertainment. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.